The NewsX Business World panels on the Indian economy, the show where we look at the Indian economy, currently the impact that of course the pandemic and the lockdown had on various sectors, and now how 2021 is going to look ahead for India's growth story. Joining us live at this point is Power Pack panel. Vikas Bagadia, the founder of PSafe, is joining us live. Dr. Farah Naqvi, Professor, OBN Management and writer, is also with us live. Ambud Sharma, founder and CEO, Escaro Royale, joins us live. Shumita Kakkar, founder of United We Care, is live with us. And Dr. Anurag Batra, Chairman and Editor-in-Chief, Business World, is also joining the panel at this point. Welcome all of you, and thank you for being with us. Okay, I think we've lost him. Dr. Farah Naqvi, let me take that across to you. Dr. Farah Naqvi, your learnings from 2020, what kind of impact it had on your work, and how you're really resilient now for the year ahead.
Just a minute.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good evening, everybody. Happy to join all of you from Kuwait and be with India.
Yeah, I don't know if I remember a site called Put.
Please go ahead, Dr. Naqvi.
Okay, yeah, so basically I'm from education sector and academics, and things were in education relatively have been stable over a period of years. But when the pandemic hit, so like the other sectors, we were in a state of shock in the initial phase. So there is one term which we often use, which we call VUCA world, which is characterized by high degree of volatility, high degree of uncertainty, where you're not able to predict the future, and high degree of complexity, where there are so many factors that you need to take into account, and the relationships between those factors, and lastly ambiguity, because there is no clarity about the information about what is coming next. So the pandemic left all of us unsure about how things will unfold in the education services, education sector, and what is the best adaptation response. And if we choose a given response, what will be the consequences of that response? And it got reflected in small things, like how to take a shift from, classes, face-to-face classes to virtual learning. But thankfully, as per the government, they made the initiative, in terms of the national education policy that they introduced, it was a very welcome initiative, in the sense that it paved the way for use of AI in the expansion of online learning. So some of the factors that were really interesting in that was though it seems to be a pretty ambitious target, that they seek to increase the gross enrollment ratio of the students from 26.3% to 50% by the year 2035. Now, as we see, the enrollment GER ratio in education sector is relatively low of India when we compare it to developed countries like USA, which is 88.2, and other countries like Germany and UK, and even developing countries like China with 49.1%. So considering all those, the education sector, primarily the enrollment ratio had been very low, because in the higher education, because many of the students used to drop out because of because 10 plus 12th is a mandatory degree to enroll in higher education. You have to clear your 12th and then you enroll yourself in higher education, and because of this the ratio was very less. And one of the reasons of students dropping out from higher education was that access to education, gender factors, how girls in rural areas don't get the right opportunities where schools are located, and all those things. So two things happened together in terms of education sector. One is that this pandemic struck, so it kind of forced us to take that leap of faith, and move to virtual learning in a full-fledged manner. And also the welcome initiatives that were taken at the right time by the government. I must appreciate, some of the initiatives are they aim to establish in universities which will be multidisciplinary in nature, and there will be one such university in every district. And the focus will not primarily be on engineering or medical, but on variety of fields, art, dance, theater, philosophy, psychology, sociology, economics, sports, different areas. And that will strengthen these higher education institutions in a great manner. And also the vocational learning aspect that, previously there was this thing like if you are enrolled for a graduate degree, like you have to finish the 3-year course and then you get a degree. And in between, unfortunately, due to some extraneous factors, you end up dropping out. So those years were wasted. Now they introduce this thing that you can have an exit with a certificate or a diploma based on the time you've invested in that 3-year program.
Okay.
So also they aim to increase the collaboration with by setting campuses in other countries and inviting universities to set campuses in India. So amidst all these things, one side there was this pandemic, and one side there was this initiatives to digitalize the education sector.
To use your terminology.
No, as far as I see now with the vaccines that have come up, we are looking positively that life will return back to normal. And we are already seeing in some of the colleges have already started off with blended learning, where they are allowing students to come in batches, they make divisions so that they can meet the teacher and have a face-to-face interaction with the teacher and the student. So that, because what happened is, because one side we were trying to build a system that is more of a holistic and flexible system, but at the same time, because of the pandemic, everybody got isolated. And in fact, I'll share, like I took a session for this students of Manipal in Dubai on emotional intelligence. So while talking to them, once I finished the session, most of the questions, as one of our panelists just talked about, were centering about, ma'am, how to deal with all this staying and completely out of touch with the college life and everything. So it has been very tough for the students, also for the teachers also to quickly adapt to. And there are certain courses which are very difficult to deliver online. For example, like I'm from I have been teaching in organization behavior. So let us say we talk of any activity, like we teach decision making or we teach team building or leadership or anything. We used to center our classes around activities or simulations or games, and then everything used to be observed, how the student came. In fact, in the group activities, we used to assign one person the role of an observer who would take notes of all the small aspects. Then in the debriefing, we used to address those things. So the learning used to be very fun and participative, learner-centered and fun activity. Now with this virtual thing, it became quite monotonous and one way. Many times students are on mute, and they are not on video, so it becomes like one-sided affair. But hopefully with the vaccine coming in, and though there have been news about the mutated virus, so which is again making us a little insecure. But if things, if everything gets sorted, and if pandemic, till the time pandemic is there, definitely we are doing well, and with respect to moving with the blended learning and virtual learning. But I am very positive and hopeful that once this pandemic gets over, probably things will be back to normal in the education sector also, and maybe in a better way, because having learned.
Dr. Naqvi, we do have a education magazine, and every Wednesday I do a BW Education Wednesday Wisdom. And I talk to many academicians, and the blended learning is in. And one of the things I ask them is, right now we have a choice to be on the campus or not. I mean, some places we have a choice, not every place. But let's say when we have a choice fully, will we still want to do blended, or would we want an on-campus education only? Because clearly what we are doing right now is a lot because of compulsion. We can't be in certain campuses, so we are utilizing the technological tools available to be able to impart education. But on-life campus education has life skills to offer, have on-campus relationships to offer, which help. Education is not about just learning a skill; it's about or a subject. It is much more than that. So, do you see, when we have a vaccine, when we have the choice to either do it fully virtually or do it in a blended way, will we go back to campuses? Is that something that will happen? Or do you think campuses as they exist are a thing of the past?
No, I don't campuses will be a thing of the past, and they should not be, because as you already said, that education is not merely about transference of knowledge. It is about so much we learn. Like we were also once students in college, so we learned so much from our peer interactions, through our teachers, through our fellow classmates, and so it is about an overall experience. So simple things like, if you want to teach a communication skill to a student, and when you make him stand right in front of the entire class and make a presentation, so they learn to overcome and fight their fears, be it with respect to public speaking and everything. So there are so many other subjects like psychology, where you have labs and counseling and all these things require practical implementation. So how it's not always possible to do it that effectively virtually. You can have virtual assistants. AI is highly and is being well integrated in the education sector. We are seeing that there are now even exams are all happening online using auto proctoring services, with facial recognition technology. Everything is can be and done virtually. But there are some benefits of visiting the campus and in the classroom learning and outbound learning with human interaction that technology cannot replace. So once I think this pandemic gets over, the students as well as the teachers and everybody would like to return to back to campuses.
All I like is